What's going on, Pizza Fam? Listen, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to make a quick shout out to Thrive POS. They've recently partnered with the podcast and they bring an exclusive offer for our listeners. Listen, Thrive POS is not just a POS system. It was built for operators just like us. It's fast, it's reliable, and most importantly, it helps us focus on what matters: our pizza, our people, and our profits. Check out the exclusive offer from Thrive POS at thrivepos.com/Pizza King, or just click the link in the description. Now let's get into the episode.
As we're cleaning up, I'm like, what is this? 30,000 menus in the back. But unfortunately, I got to throw them away. I can't use them. 30,000 menus, and anyone who's bought print knows how much that costs. That was not cheap. What's going on, Pizza Fam? Welcome back to another episode of Pizza King Podcast. It's Friday, so you already know what that means. We're doing takeout tips. I'm in the shop. It's freezing cold here in Florida today. When I say freezing, it's probably all 40, 45 degrees out right now, but it was like 35 this morning, which is freezing for us. Week two in the shop, and just like last week, we're just going to keep going through week to week on what we're doing, what's happening, how we're growing. And, a lot of great things happen this week. Very excited. This is week 2, which is the cash management week of our plan. Week 1, just to recap, we spent cleaning, organizing, really setting ourselves up, building that foundation, setting ourselves up to go ahead and set some routines and, build our operations, or set some routines to build our operation around. And that continued into week 2. Obviously, we didn't do everything in the first week. And I always want to make sure I explain that part of it. Even though it's set up as 14-week tiers, some things last for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or, that's just the week that we begin the process, or even the week that we start to execute. Some things, like even this week with cash management, I was starting to think through what this week would look like for us last week, and the things that I wanted to address and the things that we wanted to solve this week. So cash management week is what we're on this week. It's Friday. We spent this entire week just making sure we have processes around how we handle deposits, how we close the drawer, where do deposits go, where are they entered into the system, who gets the email at the end of the night, what needs to be reported. Took care of that with all of our closers. Finished it up with Nick yesterday. So we know what's happening there. We know how our cash is being handled. We know where deposits go. And that process is solid now. And I also wanted to address tips this week, because that's a big one. There's a tip pool, and it was kind of unclear on who gets what and when, and which days are my tips counted. Things like that. Questions that have been, asked. And I just wanted to make sure that we answered those for everybody this week. So we decided on a policy for our tip pooling, so it'd be distributed, what was going to be the most fair process for everybody. Because we hired our first cashier in front of house worker, we wanted to make sure that she got what she deserved for doing the work that, we had been sharing, or the team had been sharing up until a point. But now as we get into her role and she's taking that on, we wanted to make sure that she was rightly compensated for that. So we established our tip policy this week. Very excited about that. On the sales building front, even though we kind of took the approach to not go after growing sales, just being here, just showing that we care, we're starting to see increase. I mean, we did twice as much yesterday as we did last Thursday. Our Monday sales were up, even though we're planning to close on Monday. That was the other thing. We put the sign out for hours going into next month, which will be closed on Monday and 11 to 8, Tuesday through Sunday. Those are going to be our best hours. We're not going to see a lot of late night business in this area. Being open earlier than that really doesn't benefit us in any way. We will take catering orders earlier than that, but as far as open for business, we're working through that. Big plans to redo the front here and do a slice case. That's going to help our lunch business out quite a bit. And we've been making a lot of connections in the community, which is leading to, a lot of potential catering orders, which in my opinion, kind of becomes our competitive advantage here, given the fact that we have a beast of a conveyor. We have a setup that allows us to kind of handle the volume. We got a lot of cooler space, a lot of freezer space in the back. So that's going to be really good. One of the things that kind of sucked this week was having to make a hard decision. So I came into this and I was excited because they had a bunch of menus here. Like, oh man, that's nice. And for everyone that knows me, I've always been a big fan of meal programs. No matter what store I've had over all of these years or worked at or worked with, we always in some way had to implement a meal program, whether it was doing direct mail before, whether it's doing EDDM or whether it's doing shared mail, those situations when the budget is really tight, we always find a way to do a mail program. New movers, like anything, we always do a mail program as part of our marketing strategy. And I was excited because I came in and in the freezer, and maybe I'll just do like a little video or something, but in the freezer, which is whole other story, we'll get to that. But in the freezer in the back, the freezer hasn't been working, but they put a shelf in and they stuffed all these menus in there. As we're cleaning up, I'm like, what is this? 30,000 menus in the back. But unfortunately, I got to throw them away. I can't use them. 30,000 menus, and anyone who's bought print knows how much that costs. That was not cheap, but I can't use it because you see that everything on here is stuff that we don't have or don't sell or is the wrong price. Most of the menu is wrong for us. Not that it's wrong. It was a good idea when they did it. They shared it with 2 other stores, but because there wasn't alignment on pricing, they got one of the pricing and the items and menu items from one of the other locations, and it doesn't work here. And we don't have these things, and we're not going to bring in all of these items. So every page, there's something wrong. So I can't realistically send this out. Look, every pizza price is different and wrong. That's a problem. We can't do anything with that. So I'm going to take thousands of dollars and throw them in the trash, or maybe even donate to one of these other 2 stores that were on the menu. We'll just donate these to them because there's really not much that we can do with these at this point. And that's unfortunate, but it saves us. It would be harder to have those conversations with customers every time they call and they want something that we don't have. And maybe it's okay. Yeah. Well, what if they call and you start offering, if you're starting to get enough calls and you want to know, we want the most optimal menu. We want to be fast. We want to be efficient. We want to do the things that we're really good at. And over the years, a lot of folks have been good at different things and they've added local items to their menus. We want to execute the basics here. So I'm not looking to add any complexity to the menu for anyone that asks. Did get our reward cards though. So those are going on every box. Join the rewards. If you can see that, join the rewards. Get a free pizza, a personal pizza. We give out a personal pizza for anyone that joins. So starting to get those out on every box. They look really good too. Those look great. So excited about those. I set up our Easy Cater account. So we're live on Easy Cater. That's gonna help us out quite a bit here. And what else did we do? Part L is part of cash management. We cleaned up all of the coupons and offers in the system. So there was, a little bit of confusion last week on some of the offers that were out there. And I could tell from the phone calls and monitoring with the new girl, Jess, that we just needed to be more clear about that. So cleaned up the coupon page. We use Thrive POS so I can work on things remotely, test it out in the store. We set up our coupon page so it's nice and organized. It has a smart coupon function. So, depending on what's on an order ticket, it'll show you all of the deals that are available in any given moment. So shout out to Thrive just for making that process nice, easy, and simple for us. So, yeah, that's been good. Another good week. So yeah, this week, cash management, we went over cash handling policies, overshort rules, opening and closing procedures, deposits, discounts, and tips. Next week is training and bench. So we're going to start to identify who our high potentials are here, and start to introduce some IDPs, some development plans, really establish our roles and address our current bench depth because our sales are going to start to take off here. They're going to start to grow. And we want to make sure that we got, lined up to step into these roles as we need to fill them. We're going to need more, we're going to need more cooks. We're going to need more cashiers. Not really to the point where I feel like we need to add drivers and start delivering. I don't really want to add that complexity to the operation at this point. Honestly, I think that as we go to a more limited schedule with, the 6-day schedule, I don't know that we need to add that delivery function just yet. So we'll see what happens. But for now, yeah, focusing on pickup orders, focusing on catering orders, focusing on executing here in store. Everything is clean. The staff is in good spirits. Week 3, we work on training and bench. Week 4, we go into general manager planning and routines. So make sure you tap back in with me. It's a little bit cold. I apologize for having the hoodie and the scully on today, but it is freezing in Florida. So I'm going to warm up. We got the oven on. It's time to get to our Friday. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you next week. Peace out.
If you've gotten any value out of this episode or any of our other episodes, I need you to do me a favor. Go leave us a review. Every review on Apple, every 5-star rating on Spotify helps this show find more operators just like you and helps them get that same value that you're taking away from this episode. And as a thank you, anytime somebody leaves a review, sends me a screenshot, just DM me a screenshot of your review, I'm going to send you a free gift, something awesome, something cool. I'll send you a gift, whoever leaves a review. That's the challenge. Go leave a review, DM me a screenshot of it, and then I'll get you something. I got you something special from your boy. Now let's get back into the episode. Peace.